let's start this. Let's start this, man. Okay, cool. So this is not really going to be even a podcast. Well, it'll be a podcast, but it'd be, what can I even call this? Anyway, it's the Multiverse of Madness, and I've got an awesome guest with us today to talk spoilers. So if you have not seen Doctor Strange 2, do not watch this any further. But Sam, thank you for joining, dude.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me, man.
Oh, it's good. So this is like, I don't even know if I call this a segment or depending on when major films come out, because I've spoken to 3 people already. So what I'm thinking of doing is putting out 3 different versions of spoilers out. But let me know your thoughts, bro, because I did see your video. I want to get your thoughts on it, dude.
All right. So jumping straight in, what I thought to the Multiverse of Madness, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, we went in yesterday. We saw sort of a 7:20 showing, just a small screen. You know, I'm setting the scene, and I was very excited. You're always buzzing when you sit down in that cinema seat. I don't know if you had this. I don't think you did from your videos, but you sit down in that cinema seat and you've avoided the spoilers.
Yeah.
It's a 6 out of 10.
Ah, interesting. Now, this is where I want to get your thoughts, because even for me, it's not 100%. I'm a fanboy, so I always geek out. But I want to know why the 6.10, dude.
I thought that, so the Multiverse of Madness was, I just want to say that, like, straight up, this was supposed to be my MCU film that was like going to blow me away, because, you know, you've got the gothic horror elements, you've got sort of Scarlet Witch, who's the ultimate sort of goth queen, if you like. You've got all these sort of horror elements in sort of the trailer, even like the Cthulhu sort of Lovecraft looking at, you know, monster imagery that we saw with a house and things like that. And I just think it fell flat on its face in certain parts. I thought that the pacing was off at times. I thought that Strange was massively sidelined in this film. It didn't feel like a Doctor Strange film. Doctor Strange just felt like a bit of an add-on at times for me.
Okay.
I don't know. It was strange because he had plenty of screen time. I just feel that it sounds crazy, but it felt like there wasn't a massive amount at stake, which is mad, because I know that Wanda was going to destroy the entire multiverse. Spoilers ahead, but I just think that there wasn't a lot of weight here for me. And I thought that the scenes with Scarlet Witch were the absolute strongest parts of the film. I thought she carried this film. She was brutal. She was terrifying. She was scary. I loved I loved her reasoning for doing what she did, because a mother's love knows no bounds. And I think that they did some things very, very right. And it just hurt when certain things they didn't do so well. And I think that that's what's made it sort of a contrast for so many people.
Okay.
There's a lot to love with this. There's also a lot for me not to love.
Totally get you, bro. I totally get you. So I'm understanding it from your point of view. And as you're saying, you feel like the character was sidelined. And no, man, it's a difficult one. Because there's certain points I can agree with you on there. And then there's certain points where I feel like, because I've seen it twice already.
You have, yeah.
So that's where, like, the first time I watched it, like, as excited as I was, I didn't come out of the cinema, because it's not one of the MCU's best movies.
No, it's not.
But for me, it was one of the first MCU movies, second MCU movies to take a risk like that. Because it doesn't follow it still follows the Marvel formula, but for visuals wise, you're like, you know, you're giving me Sam Raimi as, you know, the director of Evil Dead, coming back, you know, 20 years later to do another superhero movie, to give me the elements he gave me, and he still somehow kept his transitions in there, which he's done in his old movies. Like when I watched Darkman, or what else has he? Darkman, and there was another one, Drag Me Into Hell. Like he had the same transitions in this movie, which I like his stylistic style anyway. I just felt like they had more possibilities with this.
100%.
They did have more possibilities. Yeah, they had more possibilities where they could have done because it's the multiverse, you could have added so much more. But I could understand trying to put that into a 2-hour movie, which felt like it was chopped up a little bit. I felt like it was going to be 2.5 hours. I thought we were going to get more multiverses. We only got the other one, didn't we? We just only got the one multiverse.
That's what I mean. This thing didn't expand for me. There wasn't. When I say there wasn't a lot at stake, it's because the surroundings feel so familiar. We're just getting sort of alternative versions of Earth, etc. And the multiverse characters. If you've not seen this film, please don't watch any further, because now I'm going to talk about exactly who came into this. And I just wasn't blown away by the cameos either. I think that they were silly. They made silly choices showing Patrick Stewart off in the trailer. That was ridiculous.
I don't know why they would do that.
Why did they do that?
They could have waited. They could have waited for that. They could have waited for that.
Who wouldn't have been going to see this film? Every Marvel fan was going to see this film as almost 2.5 to No Way Home.
Yeah.
Why show the biggest cameo, and it is the biggest and best? I thought this might have been just a taste of what's to come. Like, this is, you don't know what's coming, guys.
Yeah.
But he was the best one. Very, very happy to see John Krasinski as
Mr. Fantastic. Yeah.
That's great. That's great casting. Shame that he's brown bread, aka dead 5 minutes later.
So that's what threw me off, because it was like, if that was supposed to be your wow moment, your oh shit moment, why did it end so quick? And I can understand Wanda's powers, because Wanda in the comic books is probably the strongest, and I'm not going to call her a superhero, because she sits between both lines. She's an Omega level mutant, so she's like the strongest, physically, mentally, change reality type of mutant, And this is where there's a comic book called House of M, and I thought this is where the moment she breaks reality, and that now we know she can do that. It's a story that they could touch on later on, because I don't think she's dead. Spoilers ahead. I don't think she's dead. Yeah, because if the book got burnt later on, so she protected herself when she broke that sanctum, that sanctuary together, and got rid of the Dark Oath. It's funny that Sam Raimi got a Book of Dead involved again.
Yeah, you see, the thing is, and I'm going to upset so many people here. I'm not a massive Evil Dead fan. I'm not
really.
Yeah, I think, and you think I would be with the things that I'm into. I'm not a huge Evil Dead fan. I know they're cult classics, and I understand their worth and significance, but they never really gelled with me. I didn't really enjoy the films like everyone else did. I loved the new reboot, though. That was what I thought Evil Dead was going to be.
Yeah,
but I only recently caught sort of Evil Dead 1 and Evil Dead 2. Yeah, you could tell that Sam Raimi had his hands on this, the whole sort of zombie Benedict and things like that. And it just didn't really gel with me. I just thought, see, I like the risks, but the risks for me was having Wanda destroy everyone, having Wanda snap Professor Xavier's neck and things like that. That's great. That was awesome. And her stalking them and coming after them. But like I said, it just didn't feel big enough. And I'm not saying that I want an action flick with millions of characters coming in, but the hype that they put behind this film, they didn't reach that hype for me. They didn't hit that. Whether Spider-Man, everyone knew what was coming. Smashed it. 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
I adore that film. This didn't feel... it was all these multiverses. I thought we were going to be transported to new worlds. I thought we were going to see new things. I thought that we were going to meet so many more sort of new characters, perhaps. Maybe that's the inner child in me. But from the way that they spoke about this film, it just felt very, very grounded, and at times very boring as well. I'm going in on this film. Me, my partner, and my friend that I watched it with. None of us were really impressed by this film, but yet we absolutely loved Scarlet Witch.
Yeah. No, she was incredible. She stole the show. I mean, for me, and I love getting other people's opinions and views on it, because, like, for me, it's what I get to see from the comic books on the screen. And I'm not, to be honest, I think I know why I'm not too big on plots and stuff like that. But visuals wise, it was trippy. I love that. That's the type of stuff that I'm into. And when you read a Doctor Strange comic book, it's what you want to see. Like Sam Raimi, when it came to doing his transitions and what he used to do in his own movies, were exactly from the comic book pages. So it's great to see that's happening. But yeah, after watching it the second time yesterday, the few things that I noticed kind of did throw me off it a little bit. But then I'm still fanboying, dude. You know, I'm enjoying it for what it is. And I'm not looking into it too deep because, to be honest, I'm not, what's the word? I suppose I'm easily to please, bro. That's the main thing. Yeah, that's the main thing. But I notice mistakes and I see things where it doesn't add up. Like the major thing for me now, from Avengers, if from Infinity War to Avengers Endgame, he gave away the Time Stone. How is the Eye of Agamotto still working?
Yeah,
that's not been explained. That really bothered me because I was like, hold up. So I know that Cap gave back all the stones at the end of that movie. What is this he's using right now? Is it an Infinity Stone? They should have explained that because it didn't make sense. You've made it part of the costume as well because it's part of the cape. So it's like, like I saw that part and I was like, this doesn't make sense. He's using this power still, but how? Is it the Time Stone or what is it? They didn't explain that.
I didn't really get the sort of third eye reference at the end either. I didn't really how did that sort of happen? Is it because he probably took hold of the dark hole maybe?
Yeah, so that's what was, I think the last battle scene he has with music notes, which I found quite creative, with the other Strange, which was, if I'm right, is the same Strange from the What If cartoons.
Yes.
And that dark elf takes a toll on you, which means it somehow embeds itself in you. I mean, again, here's something that's a pothole where it's not explained properly on why he's got this and how it takes over. But from the end credit scene, it looks like he's accepted it and living with it. So, and that's the only thing I found a bit dodgy. The CGI on that just didn't
look good.
Like I've seen people do that so much better. Even if they put a physical electronic eye in there, it works. But that did look really off. Like that's the only thing I could like say really threw me off was that third eye.
Yeah, it didn't look good. I didn't really particularly like the musical notes scene either. Thought that was just a bit ridiculous, to be honest. I know, and I can understand they were trying to sort of have a little go at creativity, but it took away from the seriousness of the battle for me.
Yeah,
I'm not a huge fan of this film, Kibble. I got to be honest, brother.
That's all right.
Yeah,
that's all right. That's all right. That's all right. It's going to be hit and miss for a lot of people, man. It's like Eternals. Eternals was again something new that they did, and I had to watch it 3 times to kind of see the beauty in what the director was trying to show to us and what Marvel were trying to give to us as well. Because I think Marvel at the moment now, because they get criticized about the same formula type of movie, you know, something's going to happen, something big's going to happen. They tried to change it. And they have, you know, I've got to give them kudos for trying something different. But like, I'm not going to justify why you don't like it. That's your own opinion. And that's what I want to get from people, because there's going to be things like you saw that you may not like. And I probably liked it, but didn't really think about it the way you did.
Yeah, that's it.
So that's the beauty of that. So, well, let's see what happens, dude. I mean, it's an interesting one and it's getting loads of mixed reviews. So like, it's one of those, I think the next part of MCU is going to be quite difficult, because I feel like what they did with Moon Knight was extraordinary.
Yeah.
But I know that didn't hit well for a lot of people as well. So I'm like, like the choices that Marvel are making now, which they are actually, it looks like they're going through a darker route with a bit of humor. But they're not being consistent at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, look how long they've been on top of the game now. I mean, whether I like it or not, these things are the biggest powerhouse in the world. I'll always be a Star Wars fanboy, but I think that Marvel have done, and Marvel and Disney have done an incredible job of remaining very consistent. And there are going to be hit and misses now and again due to,
of course,
visions and things like that. I've got to say, so far out of the phase, I haven't actually watched all of the TV shows. I watched WandaVision.
Yeah,
a lot of people were split on. I loved it. I thought it was really good. I watched Moon Knight, that I thought was good. I thought that was very reasonable. It wasn't my favorite, but I thought it was very good. I would like to see more.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Ethan Hawke just stole the show in that, as well as Oscar Isaac. What an actor!
Brilliant.
And then out of the current phase, everyone loves No Way Home. I can't really feel like No Way Home is disliked by anyone. I just met that person.
Because again, fanboys. But there's I've got questions that'll always stick with me about that film, but because we got 3 Spider-Man in one movie, I've got nothing to say.
That's it. That's how you got to see it, isn't it?
Yeah.
I didn't like the Eternals. I didn't like. I didn't dislike Doctor Strange, but I didn't think it was great. It was a 6 out of 10. It was okay. It was fine.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, I did love. I absolutely love Shang-Chi. That hit all the right notes for me. That was a solid 9 out of 10 for me. That's one of my favorite MCU films, full stop.
Awesome.
It was such a surprise. I sort of thinking, though, I think this is going to be good.
Yeah.
I had a feeling because I knew nothing about Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
I thought, I have a feeling this is going to be good. And it blew me away. By far, apart from No Way Home, my favorite sort of, because this is still the same phase, Shang-Chi. Is that
That's right. Yeah, that's right. No, so it's interesting because for me, that was the one I was really scared of the most. All the other ones I work because I feel like it's all right. You know, you're bringing in a kung fu master, martial arts sort of superhero into this world. How will he fit? You know, the character was based off Bruce Lee, and the 10 rings. You know, they play a big part, and they changed it into like armbands, where I was a bit upset about. But then it works so well in the movie.
Oh, it looks so good.
You know, they look so, and you know, like the third act of the film, where it got really mystical, and it kind of takes you away from the reality of everything being on Earth. It was really good. It was that is actually still probably one of my favorites as well, dude, because it felt fresh. I love martial arts, and seeing it on the big screen like that represented in a superhero film, you're like, you know what, they did well with this, and it had good comedy in it. I think Simu Liu is absolutely brilliant. And that's probably one of the strongest ones at the moment, still holding the top spot as well with Spider-Man.
I think it could be it's definitely my top 5 MCU films. I haven't decided if it's top 3 yet. I think it's great, but that's the reason I brought it up, is because that's the kind of sort of level I thought that Doctor Strange was going to take me to in terms of like otherworldly presence. Some films like The Winter Soldier, I don't think has a massive amount of escapism. It's just a fantastic film. You know, it's just a fantastic Marvel film. It's almost like an espionage spy film. It's fun. You know, it's a 10 out of 10. It's a great film. I thought that, I find Shang-Chi is an escapism film, especially like you say, in that third act, you go somewhere else.
Yeah.
I thought that Doctor Strange was going to take me somewhere else. It tried. It didn't really sort of come off for me.
Yeah, no, because they ended up coming back to their reality. That's the only one thing. I just thought that we were going to get to see more, and the way they did the Illuminati. Excited as I am, there's always going to be flaws. It's not the original Illuminati that I knew. You know, that would have been Namor, Iron Man, Doctor Strange, Black Panther, Professor Xavier. I know they went through their changes, but this is the movie world. That's the only one thing as well they didn't explain was, you know, getting to see, like Peggy Carter, man, look awesome. Absolutely awesome. But they didn't explain which universes. Did they come from that universe, or they came from different universes?
Yeah.
That wasn't explained. Because I feel like that world, I don't know, just, the thing is, that's the problem now with, you know, I'm asking too many questions where like originally when I first saw it, I got lost. Watched it the second time, enjoyed it for what it is, but then I've got too many questions now. And like that, Eye of Agamotto is killing me at the moment. So I'm speaking to loads of people with knowledge. Give me knowledge, guys, because that doesn't make sense. And we haven't got no explanations about it as well. But no, dude, again, massive thank you for your time, dude. I'm not going to keep you too long, but thank you for your honest opinion. And honest opinions are the best way, man. You know what I mean? It's great to get the bounce back, which kind of, you know, people can see straight down the middle, and, you know, we can have a conversation without a conflict.
Absolutely.
That's the main thing.
Out of 10, give it me, out of 10.
Oh, man, you told me.
Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness.
All right, so you gave it a 6 out of 10.
I'm giving it a 6.
And for me, oh, shit, I did I did like it. So for me, it's going to be a solid 8.
Nice.
Yeah, it's going to be a solid 8 because the Eye of Agamotto and the Illuminati scene threw it off for me completely. But for me, well, you know what? I mean, you think Doctor Strange got sidelined a little bit, where for me, I feel like he kind of found a little bit of peace towards the end after, Chrissy told him that she loved him. And I feel like that moved on. And then, we got a new character, Charlize Ferrone as Chrissy, who in the comic books is his next person that he falls in love with.
Yeah. I thought that she was going to be introduced as a love interest. Great to see Charlize Theron as well.
Yes, definitely. So she's bouncing around multiple universes now at the moment. The Fast saga, and now this one as well, which is amazing. But what's your next anticipated movie to come out, dude?
That's a great question. If I'd not watched it already, probably The Northman.
Oh, man.
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
10 out of 10 for me.
Bloody hell, that was so good, bro.
One of my favorite films, full stop.
Wow.
Yeah, seriously.
Wow.
I came out of that film a bit of a wreck, actually. I was just like, wow. Like, F, man. I'm like, I came out of that film and I just sort of like, I was with my partner at the time, and I just sort of had to stand for a side of it. I was just like this. I was just like, that's one of the best films I've ever seen.
Full on, innit?
Yeah,
absolutely.
She just said, I think you might be right.
Oh, it's big. Listen, I fully enjoyed it. And like, I saw it twice as well. I do want to see it again. It's weird because like, I'll have that. It's one of my favorite films in 2022, but the one that hasn't kind of beaten anything for me, like my favorite movie that's come out in the last decade, is Mad Max Fury Road.
Great film,
dude. And nothing beats that. Like we've seen loads of films that have come out which are great, but nothing will give me that feeling of watching Mad Max Fury Road on IMAX and coming out the cinema like, what the fuck did I just watch? Because that was amazing.
Charlize Theron again.
Yeah, and it just, even though it wasn't a full-on about Mad Max, it was about his exterior world. It was just amazing to see that type of the cinematography, the action that George Miller brought to this movie. The fact that, almost 30 years later, we get these characters back on the screen.
So immersive. Such
a good film. And the soundtrack by Tom, it's gone out of my head now, but, it's on my phone. It's like my morning soundtrack when I walk to work. Just to hype me up.
I really like you picked a good one there. But in terms of most anticipated film now, Kip, let's answer your question. I honestly don't know what's next. I've watched Sonic, loved Sonic.
Yeah.
I watched The Northman, that blew me away. I've seen Doctor Strange now.
Do you see Batman?
Yeah, I love Batman. I thought Batman was great. So I think that I don't know what's next for me. The Northman was my most anticipated because of how authentic it looked, and that lived up to the hype. That's number one at the moment. I think number two could be Sonic. I really loved Sonic.
Yeah.
Then again, I loved Batman, so I need to watch both again though.
Yeah.
Only one view on each one. So Batman needs to be watched again.
I think surprisingly, 2022 has kicked off with some great movies, bro.
I agree.
Like some great movies. Like, oh my god! Do you know what? I didn't know there was a trailer to that till I saw it in cinema the other day, and I was like, "Hey, hold up!"
I didn't. Yeah, same. Yesterday. I was like, "Oh my god,
there's a trailer!" Yeah. So I'm excited to see that. It's actually one of my dad's favorite movies. He's a big fan of. Yeah, he's a big fan of James Cameron. So he was like, we need to get that booked in. So I was like, I can't wait, man. That's like a couple of days before my birthday.
Oh, man.
But you're right. You know what? I think it's going to be Avatar. Like this year, it's going to be Avatar for me. It's going to be Avatar.
I think Avatar. Because I love the first one. And we sort of went to Disney and we did all the Avatar world and stuff like that. And, it gets a lot of flack because it's been a long time. But I remember seeing that film in cinema and I've watched it many times since. And every single
great movie. Great movie. Absolutely great movie. Great movie. All right. Awesome, dude. Listen, thanks again for jumping on.
You're welcome.
I know it was a short time, but definitely I'll have to get you back on another podcast again and catch up. But listen, bro, proud of you, man. I've seen the growth on the channel. I've seen you working really hard. You keep that work going, dude. It's always great content. Man. It's always good to see people thriving. It means a lot to me as well, because when I see all the creators coming together, we got a little community now, which is absolutely amazing, bro. That's so cool, isn't it? And it's so cool. I've still got Chris to jump on as well and talk about his journey in Hot Taste.
I spoke to him today. He says he's coming. Coming because I said I'm going on with Kibler today. I says I think he want to get you on and have a chat with you because he's just watched Doctor Strange. So you need to get his views.
No, definitely.
It's like, I'm there.
No, it'd be good to catch up with him because I know he went through a little process with the house and everything, and that was gut-wrenching, bro. That put a lump in my throat. I was like, oh, Chris, man, I'm so sorry to see that. And he was going through quite a lot, and I didn't want to bother him at the time. But if he's ready, I'll drop him a message now and say, bud, what you up to this weekend? Let's talk. But yeah, no, that's awesome, bro. Listen, thanks again for making the time, bro. And we'll catch up very soon and keep up with the great work, bro.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on. Until
Always.
next time.
Yes, definitely. One love, guys. Peace.